Welcome back, Bridgewater College Teacher Education Program students. In this screencast, we're going to continue building our website using WordPress. And of course, the first thing we need to do is to get there. And you recall that the WordPress server is located at wp.bridgewater.edu. And after the slash, we need to put our login, which for me is Hill. For you, it'll be whatever your login is. And sure enough, here's the website that we started yesterday. Now, it's a dull website. There's no graphics on it. I don't like the colors and so forth. But I have selected a template. This happens to be one of the templates that we had to choose from yesterday. And one of the first things we're going to do today is to fancy it up a little bit. You might notice that we're viewing this the way the public would view it. That is, I can read it, but I can't make any changes to it. That's because I need to sign in as the administrator of this site. Now, there are a couple ways to do that, but you might notice if you scroll down, right here is a login that will let you do that. Now, I will tell you that in another screencast, we're going to clean up this right-hand side a lot and get rid of some of this stuff which is not of interest to us. But what is of interest right now is the login option. So I'm going to click login. And then I'm simply going to sign in using the same username and password that we changed yesterday. Remember, we changed our password yesterday. So I'm going to sign in. And now I'm looking at the dashboard. Remember, the dashboard is where we make our edits. Just as a review, yesterday we chose a template. And we got to the template by coming down to the section called Appearance. And then we went over to Theme. And the theme that I happened to pick was one called 2012. 2012 does allow us to have a graphic at the top, and I haven't put anything up there yet, and that's why my site looks so bland. So I'd like to start today by putting a graphic at the top of my page. And actually, when I put a graphic on the top of the 2012 theme page, I'm actually going to have that graphic on every page, not just the opening page. So if you look here, here's the options of customizing certain things about this particular theme. And it's the header that I want to adjust. So I'm going to click on header, and it tells me that I can upload a picture. And it suggests a size. It's suggesting a size that's, well, put it this way, it's almost 4 times as wide as high. So I don't want a tall, skinny picture. I want a short, wider one. So let's browse. And I'm going to select a picture that's, well, how about this graphic of the Bridgewater College Teacher Education Program? Let's put that at the top of the page. So I'll upload that image. It says, would you like for me to crop that? Well, actually, I don't want it cropped because it would cut off the word college. So I'm going to stretch the shaded area on down. And I'm going to choose the option to skip the cropping and publish the image as it is. The suggestion was that I crop part of it, and you'll see why they made that suggestion, also why I did not choose to do that. So it says to me, okay, you've added the custom header. You can now visit your site and see how it looks. So I'm going back to our site, and now our site looks a little bit better. The reason that the template suggested that this be a little bit smaller is the fact that it has now bumped some of these items down further on the page, and I'm going to have to scroll to get to them. But that's okay, since we're going to change some of these anyhow. Now you might say, well, I would like to have that picture on the right-hand side. Well, unfortunately, when you use a template, you don't always get to make those choices. We're going to have to live with wherever the template decides to put the graphic. Now, just to prove my point that this graphic will be at the top of every page, I'm looking at what's called the home page here, but there's a second page that was sort of built in, and if I click on it, and you'll see the graphic is still there. And if I go back to the home page, again, the graphic is still there. So now what I've done is I've made my site a little bit more attractive by adding a new header picture, in this case, a graphic. The purpose of this screencast today, though, is to learn to add a new page, or actually to get rid of this sample page and put in one of our own. So the first thing we need to do is get back to the dashboard where we can do that. So I'm going to get back to the dashboard by going up here to the top and coming down to dashboard. And you may remember from our previous screencast that there were 4 different choices here at the top under dashboard: posts, media, pages, or comments. Let's look at the pages one. On the pages one, there is a sample page, the one that's already there. And quite honestly, I didn't see anything on that page that I liked. So I'm going to trash it. I'm going to get rid of the sample page. Now there is no more page. So now I'm ready to add a new page. Notice at the top there's a button that says Add New. I could also have added new back on the side by just coming down to Add New right here. Either way, I can add a new page. And of course, if you add a page you don't like, you can do exactly what I just did. That is to put it in the trash. I want my page to be a welcome page. And this will eventually be the first page that a person sees when they come to my site. So I'm just going to entitle it Welcome. Now, I come down to this box and I simply type in the message that I want them to see when they come. I've already typed that and copied it from Word, so let's just paste it in. And here it is. So now, I've added some text. I've entitled my page Welcome. Let's publish it and see how it looks. If I click here, I can view the page. This looks a little bit better to me. It's got the Bridgewater College logo. It's got a welcome message here at the top. And it has information that I wanted the public to see. Now remember, the difference between the Moodle site, which you're used to looking at, and this site is that the public will be able to see this site. So unlike Moodle, which is only accessible to a closed audience, that is people enrolled in our course, the public will be able to see this. And I might want to put information here about, in my case, the 370 class for prospective students as well as current students. Notice at the top, it's gotten rid of what used to say sample page, and now it says welcome. So if I click here, I go to the original home page, and if I click here, I come to welcome. Again, on the next screencast, we're going to reverse these. We're going to make welcome the first screen a person sees, and then we'll make our posting page the page for us to post what's happening and so forth. Now, I do notice that my welcome page still is a little drab. It might be good if I put a picture on it. So let's look at doing that. Let's go back to the dashboard and let's come down to pages again. Pages are going to be right here. I'm just going to select all pages. And here's the welcome page that we've done. Let's select Edit. Okay, what I'd like to do now is to add a picture to this site. So I'll click on Add Media. Now it wants to add a picture from our media collection, and right now I don't have anything in there to add, so let's choose Upload Files. I'm going to select a file off my computer. I think I'll just pick this picture here. So I'll open it. And that's the one I want to insert into my page. So I'll click on Insert into Page. Now when I did this, I don't like the fact that it's split my paragraph apart. That is, the text hasn't wrapped. So let's double click on the picture. Click on the icon to edit the image. And now I can set my wrapping so that the picture goes to the right, the words wrap around it. I can make the picture a little smaller if I want to by clicking 90% and so forth. And now I'll click Update. So now I've got the page updated, but I still haven't updated it back on the actual website itself. I need to click on the blue Update. Always look for a blue button to click when you've made a change. So let's click on Update. And now let's go view the page and see how it looks for the public. Well, that looks a little bit better. I've got the graphic in the middle of my text, and that's the intent. I do notice, though, that I might want to change some of the font that I have in my text here. So what I'll do now, I'll return back to that page. I'll go back to the dashboard, come down to Pages, and I'm going to click on Edit the Welcome page. There's an interesting icon right here to the far right, and it's called Show and Hide the Kitchen Sink. If you click on that, the kitchen sink is a collection of options that you have regarding font size and so forth. So for example, if I wanted to change the size of the font on this entire document here, if I want to change it from maybe to 14 point, update, and now go back and view the page, you'll see that I've changed the font a little bit. Show and Hide the Kitchen Sink is an interesting button, and one that you might want to use to make those kinds of changes to your text. Okay, that's all we're going to do for this screencast. In the next screencast, we're going to learn how to make this the opening page and to make our posting page where we'll keep our daily announcements, homework assignments, and so forth on a second page. We'll learn to do that in the next screencast. See you then.